What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. According to Food Network, there are over 600 different pasta shapes, and the favorite and most common being the spaghetti noodle. Today I'm going to explain to you how to make an amazing spaghetti dinner from scratch using fresh ingredients, and also explain some tips and tricks I've learned over the years. I had found this recipe online several years ago, and since I make it so much for my family, I've added different ways to add my own little kick to it and make it even better. I come from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so we've eaten a lot of Italian dishes and a lot of spaghetti. First, what you want to do is grab a large bowl. You're going to want to put your breadcrumbs, your parsley, your teaspoon of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. It's very important to use fresh ingredients. A fourth a teaspoon of ground pepper, an eighth a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 egg beaten. You're going to go ahead and mix it up very well. I typically use a fork just to mix it up really well. And then you're going to incorporate a pound of ground beef into there, but you're going to use your hands to mix it up very well. To make the perfect size meatball, I have a scooper and I dole out equal parts of meat into this, and I utilize all the meat. Once I have doled out all the meat, I take 2 serving size of these, which is about a tablespoon each, is about 2 tablespoons worth of meat. I roll it into a ball to make it to a firm, nice size meatball. Then I go ahead and put it back into the bowl, cover it with plastic wrap, and then I'll put it in the fridge until later. During which time I grab a large saucepan. I use fresh garlic, cloves, and the recipe typically calls for about 5 garlic cloves. I like to use about 8 or 9 depending on size. I go ahead and mince that. I grab 1 medium onion, yellow onion. I chop that up. I put that in the saucepan as well. I add a 1/4 cup of oil. I go ahead and let that go on to medium heat, cooking, stirring occasionally, and let it go on until the onion is translucent, it's a little see-through. Then I go ahead and add in 2 cans of whole tomatoes. They're about 28 ounces each. And what I like to do is also grab a potato masher, and I'll mash down, because they're whole tomatoes, mash it down just a little bit to help it be a little bit thicker, not so clumpy with the tomatoes. I add salt, sugar, and bay leaf. I actually use about 2 to 3 bay leaves, depending on size, to add more flavor. You're going to want to cover, and you're going to reduce it to low for about 90 minutes. Let everything kind of just, simmer all together and cook very well. After those 90 minutes are up, you're going to add tomato paste, 6 ounces of tomato paste, but it thickens up the sauce. Basil, another 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. You're going to add the meatballs. My trick with my spaghetti dishes is I use a mild Italian sausage that I'll put in there as well. And I'll let that cook until about 10 minutes before it's ready to be done. And then I take that sausage back out and I chop it up into about 1-inch size pieces. And it adds a little bit of that sweet flavor to the sauce while you're eating the spaghetti. But when you put the meatballs and the sausage in, you can put it in for 30 minutes. So it takes 30 minutes to cook that part, during which time I'll boil a pot of water and I'll add my spaghetti, cook until about 10 to 12 minutes until it's nice and tender. Then I'll drain it in the colander. Then I bring it back to the pan that it was just in, and I add about a tablespoon of butter. That helps to keep it from sticking as it cools down and starts drying. Once everything's done cooking, of course, you're going to plate with a nice heaping of your noodles, and then you're going to layer on top that sauce with the spaghetti and the sausage. And I can tell you, it's probably one of the best spaghetti and sausage meals I've ever had, and I guarantee you'll love it too. So I hope you enjoy learning how to make a great Italian spaghetti sauce, meatball, and sausage dinner.